Welcome. Watch the game sports. NFL Week 1 kickoff 2024. The Bears go out and get a win. So, Penn, I'm pretty sure you're feeling pretty good about that. Me, myself, I'm in a different space at this time. But I'm gonna let you enjoy the victory, and I'm gonna lay on your opinions very heavily about the Bears for about the first 8 weeks of the season, because I don't want to be too critical. But what I have done is I want to try and make a better effort at looking at the league in the first 8 weeks. Also, it may bring a little bit more diversity to the show. So, without further ado, how do you feel about this 24-17 victory by the Bears today?
Let's give it up. Bear down. Come on, man. Look, it ain't even like you jumping on the bandwagon because you're a Bears fan. You just in this odd,
I'm in a weird space because I'm not on the hype train.
Yeah, you're in the weird. I'm not on the hype train either.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah,
but I think it's a lot different for me.
Yeah, I'm not on the hype train. It's just, ultimately it comes down to, this is my team and what they went about doing. However you feel about Justin or whatnot, they was trying to make the team better. And we was texting earlier. I used the Miami Heat as an example. They're not trying to make the team better. They've been trying to pitch and patchwork the team together for the last 3-4 years and hope that improves some results. And it's not when you see what your shortcomings is. So me being in that weird space with them, like, you can understand it. But the Bears are trying to get better. They went out and addressed, I guess, the needs that they feel like are going to help them get over the hump and be able to compete with the teams in their division offensively, while still maintaining a top-tier defense. So with that said, when they got on the field today, the first half felt eerily similar to how last year started. It was like that, just drop in your stomach. It was like, you're excited for your season. Here your team is on the field. Like, you expecting improvements. You expecting them to be better. And they came out. Defense couldn't get off the field. Offense couldn't block nobody. There was no running game. Drop passes.
Overthrown passes as well.
Yeah, overthrown passes. I was about to say, dare I say, holding on to the ball too long in the pocket.
We heard that before.
Yeah, it was a lot of the same things we saw last year. And then second half, like we always say, it's 3 phases to the game. It's the ultimate team game. Special teams gets a punt block. They return it for a score. They get an interception. They return it for a score. Jalen Johnson, and I'm on his ass. I don't even care that he got that pick at the end of the game, because what Levis
could have got one earlier.
That was the one. If you're the best player in the league, you make that earlier pick, because that's the one that changes the game. That's a playmaker play.
Immediately, yeah.
Exactly. The one he got at the end of the game, Levis had to put it up there for him, and he knew it was coming this way. He undercut it, boom, interception. But it'll look good in the stats. So overall, I walked away looking like, I know the Bears had less than 150 yards. They haven't done that since Rex Grossman was the quarterback. They had 149 total yards today. Caleb, I don't think he threw over 100 yards today. I think he was below 50% with his passes, his completion percentage today. But we got the win. Remember 2 openers ago when we played the San Francisco 49ers, Trey Lance, it was his first start, and it was Justin's first season starting. And we had that monsoon, and it was ugly, but we won.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. We won.
Well, there's a big difference between that game and this game. The Bears won that game because of Justin Fields. They won that game because of Justin Fields. Me, myself, personally, I don't want to talk about Justin Fields a lot because he's irrelevant right now.
He did get a win today.
Yeah, he got a win. He looked okay. I don't really care for their scheme either. But this is the thing with the Bears that I saw today. They did exactly what I thought they would do. They went out and immediately tried to show. They put the game in Caleb's hands right away. That's what I saw. And I told you, I'm going to let you call it back for me because I know you heard me say it enough. A rookie quarterback, down the stats in college. What's the best way to go about establishing a rookie quarterback?
A strong running game. Good defense.
And the very first carry from Swift was a sign of things to come if they would have stuck with that. But the question I have is so many statements were made today and they almost lost trying to make these statements. The special teams. By the way, my player of the game is Jonathan Owens because when they couldn't figure nothing out, he went out and he made a play and got the ball rolling, and that kind of got the momentum going in the right direction. And the defense picked it up, and they went out and they got a win.
He got the block, number 92.
Yeah, that too. But who's that? Who's number 92 for the Bears?
Handy. He I think
Hardy. Hardy?
Yeah.
I think his name is Hardy.
92.
Okay, I'm giving him some credit. He was the one. He went out. He made the play. He got the block. Jonathan Owens scooped it up and ran it in for the touchdown. Excuse me. And I'm hoping that he makes enough plays that he can go on being Jonathan Owens and not just Simone Biles' husband.
Yeah.
I'm hoping his talent can, put him in his own space, in his own place. He was in the sport of football.
Mr. Biles on the TV broadcast by Adam Ivine or whatever his name. I know you listen to the radio broadcast.
Yeah.
He was
I do. I'm gonna shout out some early viewers right now. Mr. Dwayne Rancifer. I saw you at the game. Doing his thing. He went to the game, got a chance to go out to Soldier Field and see a victory. And my man John Taylor Jackson. What's up?
Yo.
But they went out today, and it seemed as if they were determined to get Caleb Williams going. And I personally thought that was the wrong game plan. And eventually, the special teams and defense made some plays. The fans walked away with a victory. One of my biggest things about I'm gonna ask you how you feel about Caleb Williams play in a minute, and then we can get off to some other things. But one of my biggest concerns about Caleb Williams was his height and him being able to get the ball, not getting balls batted down back into his face.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times the ball was batted around today.
I counted 3 at least.
Okay. So that's my concern with him. It's just I like my quarterbacks big and strong, and it's gonna take me a while to get up on the Caleb train because he's going to have to prove and show to me that he can do it at this level. Now we watched Caleb Williams a whole football game, several quarters in the exhibition. He's yet to throw a touchdown pass.
Keenan dropped that one today, though. That was a touchdown.
Like I said, he's yet to throw
I got you.
a touchdown pass. It is what it is, but he's yet to throw a touchdown pass. I have to see it to believe it. But they went out today and they looked like they were just determined to show that make this the Caleb Williams show. And they almost got a disappointed fan base. This is the thing. As I watched this game and the Titans went up like 17-0. I'm saying to myself, the Titans suck. The Titans really, really suck. Once they figured out Pollard, slow Pollard down and keep him under wraps, the Titans suck. And then I thought to myself, this might be the worst team on the schedule for the Bears this season. But I do think they play Carolina, and I do think they play Washington later on in the season. But the
Yeah,
Titans suck.
I was thinking that at the same, like during the progress of the game, not to the level that you was. Not it was more like we losing to the Titans. Like it's the Titans. I don't believe in Will Levis. Will Levis gave us that game back. The one that got picked off by Stevenson. Remember early in the game, he tried that same thing and they called it incomplete. It was the first half. He tried the same exact thing, and so I just don't think the football IQ to play quarterback. And I knew he was going to give us a chance to get back in the game. Put it like that. I knew he was going to give us a pick or something like that so we get back in the game. And he obviously gave us a pick six. Other than we couldn't block the line, that kept us in the kept them in the game too, or let Tennessee get ahead. Because when you say the Bears came out and tried to show off Caleb Williams, I looked at it a little differently. I looked at it like they was behind the chains a lot in the first half. A lot of the times, penalties, delay of games. They had a lot of things where we was looking up. It was 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. You 3rd and 8+. So I felt like Caleb was more so put in them positions where he had to throw it. I don't think they came out and wanted him to throw. I think he threw 25+ times today, like 28. I want to say. We'll get that in a second, but I don't think that was necessarily the game plan. I think they thought Swift would be more effective, and they just couldn't block number 98. He was wreaking havoc all day. So it's I just look at it a little different and a little different lens. But all that to say, there was a point in the game where I was like, we lose to the Titans like this? And I'm with you, and you just verbalized it. The Titans suck.
Yeah, they suck. They suck. And I'm looking at Will Levis like he's not a difference maker. And I think they just traded their backup quarterback to the Green Bay Packers as if.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder if they were thinking at some point, man, they got some problems on their hand. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't impressed with Caleb Williams, but he is a rookie, and I think he has more to work with him around, with the talent around him. The only thing that concerned me about Caleb Williams and the Bears is you had some guys get a little banged up. I see DJ Moore get banged up. I seen Keenan Allen come up limping a little bit. And my question is, they better get these wins early. They better get these wins early, because if these guys get into the second half of the season banged up, they're going to find themselves having to win games because of Caleb Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also thought about the fact that this is Chicago. It was nice, sunny, and it was a sunsplash field today, and they were not productive. What's going to happen when the snow flurries drop and the rain starts coming down from time to time? They got to get it together. Now, that defense, I expect it to be consistent. I expect it to get better each week, even with the special teams. But it's all going to be predicated on health. If this team can stay healthy, they can be very good. But this offense, they better get it clicking before the weather changes in Chicago. I think we got away with one today with a lame duck football team. By the way, the Texans and the Bears both of these teams did go undefeated in the exhibition season.
Yeah.
So both teams had to probably come in feeling pretty good about some things they accomplished over the exhibition season. The Titans came in with a reputation of having one of the better front fours in the league, and they showed that to be true today. But I really do have some concerns about that offensive line. I wasn't surprised with the Bears' offensive line due to the fact they don't have a lot of games together under their belt with all the injuries and guys missing practice in the training camp. And I think we seen that uh, show itself today. And I think they better get it going quick. They're going to Houston for week 2, prime time
Mhm.
against the Texans. I'm to be honest with you, I'm not even sold on CJ Stroud. I'm a guy, I'm a 3-year guy.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So I'm not really sold on CJ Stroud either. So
But I mean,
I gotta think they have a chance to win this game too. But if they go out and perform offensively the way they did today, they're gonna lose a lot of games to a lot of teams. They're gonna lose a lot of teams just so much better than the Titans were today.
so you
The
basically,
Titans gave them every opportunity. The Bears scored 24 unanswered points.
I know.
Manufactured 24 unanswered points. Might I add? Quarterback didn't throw a touchdown. Running back didn't run for a touchdown. All the points were via the field goal or manufactured special teams or defense. They just went out and made it happen.
So you basically saying if the Bears go to what is it, Reliance Stadium on Sunday Night Football next week and put out this type of offense, they'll be the Michigan Wolverines. That's what you say. I can do that. That's my team. I can take a shot.
You might get the same result because I don't think it'll take the Texans that long to get the offense clicking.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can go down 17-0 to most NFL teams. You know what I'm saying? So they got to get better. Most definitely got to get better. Going into this game, I think they were a 3-point or 4-point favorite.
When I saw it, it
And
was 2.5.
yeah, and at halftime, people had to be like, damn, 17-0 to the Titans. But maybe I'm wrong. I just think at that time they were asking Caleb to do a little bit too much. You say they couldn't get the running game established. Maybe I got to do like the coaches. I got to look at the tape and maybe to change my mind. But there were some things in this game that I think the Bears and Ryan Post are going out of their way to make statements. And I mentioned that early. One of the statements is that look, we're sticking by Velus Jones' size regardless.
What I say about that? And when our preseason shows, what I say, keeping him on the team is going to cost you a game during the season because he's going to do some Velvet Jones stuff. He did it the first game. Not only did he muff the punt, is nobody the kickoff, the new kickoff, by the way. Not a man in sight. They can't even run until you catch the ball.
You're right.
So just it's basically practice in a stadium full of people. Catch the
He
ball.
really didn't even have to catch the ball, did he? Could have just let it go in the end zone. Am I right? Oh no, was he out of the end zone at that time?
Play. I think he was in the field of play.
Okay, well, yeah, he had to catch the ball
because he missed it and then he kicked it. Like it's just unbelievable. I would not be I would not be surprised if somebody pulled Ryan Poles aside tonight and be like, yo, it's not
got away with one.
Not even got away with one. Like you got to do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get cut on Tuesday. I'm serious. I'm serious. And not especially when think about it.
He's not gonna get cut. I can see him being a healthy scratch in another week. I think they're gonna give him another opportunity against the Texans. If he's not a healthy scratch, if he's a healthy scratch against the Texans, I will be surprised. I just think that the Bears. This is the reason why I say this. I don't have the stats in front of me, but at one point I text you and I said, "Is Herbert injured?"
He played special teams today.
So, Velus got some of Herbert's carries, and then Travis Homer got probably some of Herbert's carries.
Yes, correct.
They're going. I think they're going. They're trying to prove a point. I don't know if they're trying to trade Herbert or if they're just trying to prove that Valus deserved to be on this team. Whatever the case may be, but that's what I. After they won the game, that's pretty much what I came away with. Are they what are they trying to prove? I mean, because I think it is time to pay Herbert, and I think they're kind of like saying, you know what, we don't want to put him in too many situations where we have to pay him, and that's the funny thing about football and contracts and just role play. It's just funny. It's hard. It makes it hard to cheer for a team like that.
Yeah, especially when they making business decisions real time. Ain't Velvet in the contract year too? I mean, despite the fact he barely made the team, this is his third year, and he wasn't a first round pick, so he don't get the 5 year deal. He get the 4 year with like the team
Yeah,
option, ain't it? So I think
I'm not exactly sure, but we know for a fact that after this season, it's time to pay Herbert.
oh
And today, I saw them like put him in a position where it's gonna be hard for him to get paid. Not only in Chicago, but anywhere else. That's what I seen. But anyway, the Bears get out with the victory. I don't know if I asked you. Matter of fact, who's your player of the game?
I think you got to go with Reed. I think you
Got to
got to
go who?
with Tyreek Stevenson. I think you got to go with Tyreek Stevenson, not just because of the pick six, which was
Okay.
a playmaker play, but he
Hmm.
played solid defense all day. So
Okay.
I think I got to go with Tyreek Stevenson.
Okay, but you definitely got to go with somebody on the defense or special team. So
Oh
you going with Tyreek, and
yeah,
I'm going with excuse me. I'm going with Jonathan Owens because he made a play and he got things started, and it was big at that time. So I'm gonna go with him. I think a buddy of mine went with Billings. With the pressure he was getting, up the middle.
no Cairo
Y-
Santos folks.
I mean, you couldn't argue with that either, because it definitely was not an offensive explosion. So, and this is what interests me when you talk about football fans watching football games. This is one of those games you got to really watch the game to come out with a top performer because it wasn't the quarterback. It definitely wasn't the quarterback. And that's the thing about football. It's such an ultimate team sport that as bad as the offense looked, the Bears scored 24 unanswered points.
Well, you forgot a word. Unanswered, manufactured.
Yes, manufactured, I should say, but they were still unanswered. And they were manufactured. So, look here, man. For as bad as we want this so-called franchise quarterback, we got to accept winning as is, however it comes. I don't know if the Bears will ever get a franchise quarterback. I don't think what you saw today was franchise quarterback material.
I mean,
But it
first
also it
start.
also makes you wonder, as good as Caleb Williams looked in college, when you flip the calendar, go from Saturday to Sunday, it changes so much. And if we look around the league, we will see that. You know, I heard a buddy of mine say he expected Caleb to go out there light work, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns.
See them the
Do
people.
you
Yeah,
do you have any idea how hard that is to do in the NFL?
those are the people that I'm like, he's a rookie. I get it. You want him to be the first 4,000 yard passer in franchise history. I get it. You've been listening to the hype train since the start of last college football season and how he's this generational talent and he's, Patrick Mahomes esque and all this. I get it. But like you said, when you turn the calendar from Saturday to Sunday, it's just different. The speed is different. If it wasn't different, we see more quarterbacks be able to translate to the game more often than they do. But how many
Exactly.
times have we seen this guy's supposed to be the guy? And I'll give you a prime example right now. Jameis Winston won the
Mhm.
Heisman his freshman year, won a national championship. This guy's going to be the guy that turned the franchise around. Tampa Bay drafts him. What does he do? He can't get it done because you know why? He can't take care of the football. He threw 30 touchdowns and had 30 plus interceptions. Then he leaves there. He goes to the Saints. He can't even win that job. He can't even beat Taysom Hill out. They decided to go ahead and get Derek Carr. And guess what Jameis Winston is right now?
In
Backing up
Cleveland.
Watson. So you can't sit here and tell me, just because he did all this in college, 265, 2+ touchdowns, gonna look. You can't say that. You can't say 4,000 yards. You can't say over.
You can't even look at the weapons. You can't even look at the weapons. Like, look, you cannot play this game in your head. You just can't do it. So I keep telling, as a youth basketball coach, I've learned so much about just watching games and sports, and just you got to let things just develop, and then you got to adjust. It just don't happen like that. And we can go on and on about the quarterbacks that's been, these so-called franchise quarterbacks coming in the league, and then you got a guy like Brock Purdy. Well, you surround him with some talent, and all he has to do is manage the game. You know what I'm saying? And that just brings me to another point. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. The coach and the player has to mesh. Football is the most difficult game to coach, in my opinion, because you got to get so many guys on the same page. Before I move on, before we wrap up, because I think we'll be shortly going into Sunday night football, and I do want to enjoy that game as well. I wanted to touch on some other games. The day started out pretty interesting for Tyreek Hill. Would you say?
Yeah. when I seen the text come through when you sent it to me, I'm like, well, damn, he can't play today, obviously. Like,
yeah, the man gets arrested about 2 miles away from the stadium.
Detained.
His teammates pull up on him. They say his teammates pull up on him, ask him if he, trying to look out for him, help him out. 2 or 3 cops apprehending the man. I mean, I don't know what that was. He had Ferrari out there, black Ferrari, one of them exotic sports cars.
Yeah.
They had the man on the ground hemmed up. Hey man, pull up that dude's stats for the day. Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins did win. They beat the Jaguars today.
I know he caught.
So let's pull up Tyreek's stats for the day. I think your sound is a little low too.
Let me see. Yeah, I know he had.
Okay, I got you.
Tyreek Hill today.
Let me see here. After getting pulled over, getting arrested, getting apprehended, 7 receptions, 130 yards, and 1 touchdown. Those were his stats for today. Now that was my most valuable player for last season, and the players agreed with me because they had him number 1 in the top 100 list. But that was the Dolphins won that game 20-7. I want to I don't know where you at on watching the rest of the games, but I was able to kind of look at some scores. Another game of interest. I'm gonna put some pressure on a quarterback.
Who?
From a fan's perspective.
Is it Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow, exactly. You read my mind. See, when you work together the way we do, we kind of click. So you did not pick the New England Patriots to go into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals, did you?
Let me give you the story. I had a parlay for all the early games. I hit everyone except that game because I had Cincinnati on to win the game, and they lost. I hit everything else. That's six games. I'm talking about I hit point spreads, the over under. I hit everything else but that. Thank you, Joe Burrow. I thought that was a layup.
See this. I say I want to put pressure on the quarterbacks because this is one of the guys that got paid last season he got paid. And the quarterback salaries have been going up and up and up and up and up. As a matter of fact, Dak Prescott got paid just before the game today with the Dallas Cowboys. I think he signed for $240 million. And the Dallas Cowboys went out and did Dallas Cowboy things. They went to Cleveland and they won the regular season football game, just like the Dallas Cowboys do. But
Uh,
the pressure, if they continue to win enough regular season football games, they'll find themselves back in the playoffs with the Dallas Cowboys. And that's where the pressure will be turned up on Dak Prescott. So no, Dak he didn't earn his 240. He won't earn it until they win enough regular season games that he can go out and show that he can get that him and the Dallas Cowboys can get to the next level of the NFL playoffs. Hopefully, maybe even the Super Bowl. Because I've lost track on who the highest paid quarterback is, and it might be Dak. I'm not sure. It might be Dak.
It's Dak.
Okay, so he got paid. Like I said, we putting pressure. I'm putting pressure on the quarterbacks with this segment. I mean, we can go on and on. I'm trying to make sure I don't. I'm trying to before we wrap up. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any other game of interest. Before we wrap up, but I cannot leave without talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Atlanta and winning 18-10. Now, Justin, and then we'll talk about the Houston Texans, and that's the Bears' next opponent. And we might. Damn, there's so much to talk about, man. I mean, how much time we got before the about another 20 minutes before the kickoff of the game, and I don't want to go over that. So,
yeah,
but
they kick off 7:20.
Okay, so the Steelers going to Houston, they went 18-10. Cousins go out. He's the new quarterback with the Falcons. Justin Fields steps in, and he's supposed to be the backup for the Steelers. Russell Wilson have some problems with that calf muscle again. They resurfaced, and he started to have problems with it again as he did earlier in training camp. So Justin Fields goes out and he starts for the Steelers. And some would say he lead them to an 18-10 victory. I looked at the highlights of this game. I think Justin Fields had 156 yards passing. And he had one reception by George Pickens taken away, one nice reception. They probably would have did those stats a little bit better justice. But the problem I have with Justin Fields in the game he played to get today in Atlanta, I think he rushed the damn football 17 times. That's too many.
Justin? Okay.
Yes, I think. Look at the stats. Pull them up.
How many was him scrambling versus call run? That's what we.
Excuse me, I'm getting over this thing. Look at man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We great minds think alike, because I'm thinking to myself as well. Now I only saw the highlights, but I'm looking at the stats, and I don't know if you're able to pull them up, but he rushed the ball 17 times for I think like 57 yards. Harris, I think is it Najee?
Yeah.
Najee Harris. Is that his first name? Kid out of Alabama?
Yeah.
He had 20 carries for 70 yards. Look, man, if Justin Fields is going to get any better at a quarterback, he better get an offensive coordinator that quit action and run the damn ball so much. Because 17 times is too many for any quarterback. I don't like it when Lamar Jackson does it. By the way, they didn't look all that great either until the game. Because in my opinion, when your quarterback got to rush the ball in NFL 17 times, that's 17 opportunities for him to get hit. That's just how I look at it. I don't give a damn how strong, how athletic, how fast he is. Dude, you better figure it out and learn how to play quarterback from the pocket.
That's the thing, though. And we gotta look at it from a lens of we not we're not attached to this Justin thing no more. We got to look at it from just you, the offensive coordinator. I got
Yep.
a job to do. My job is to win games. This kid
Mm-hmm.
can't play quarterback from the pocket right now. He can't make the necessary reads that I need him to make to, you know what I'm saying, to look like how I want it to look. So, in turn, what I got to do, I got to save my job. Because at the end of the day, one of these days, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I guarantee I have some aspirations to be a head coach in this league, right? So, to do that, what I got to do? Win. My best way to do that is I got to run this kid 17 times a game. I got to make sure this kid only reads half of the field. I got to put him in positions to win. I got to take my ego out of it. Yes, my system is to throw it all around the yard and, get all these passing yards and just play wide open. But I can't do that with him. So
Now
that's
this is
real.
the former.
Yeah,
This is the former head coach that came from Atlanta,
I know. You and
and
you
and
don't
he has the reputation of moving the quarterback around with a lot of quarterback run plays. And I guess they thought there would be a good mix with him and Justin. But in my opinion, if I'm Justin Fields, look here, man, get your ass in the film room and get better at playing quarterback
oh yeah,
because
it's
because
twofold.
this is a make it or break it season, regardless if he's the backup or whenever he's on the field, he's got to make plays. And if it's not the Pittsburgh Steelers, they want to. The most teams want to know, can you win from the pocket? Now, in my opinion, just like you called it out, all those 17, how many of those were quarterback run plays, and how
Right.
many of those were plays runs that made after a broken play? Because in my opinion, that's when Justin Fields is at his best. Not with the quarterback run plays. It's when the plays are broken down and he makes things happen. But
Yeah.
other than that, I do not want Justin Fields rushing the football 17 times. Like I say, that's just 17 times you can get hit.
And what if they only
You
call,
know?
just for the sake of argument, what if they only call 5 QB runs and he ran on 12 of them and the film shows you really only had to run on 3? Like, that's what you're talking about, him
Well,
getting the
I'm pretty
film
sure
room.
the all 22 will be out by Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. That's
and
what you're saying.
and I'll be taking a look at it. But that's just thinking outside the box, just thinking around the league about some games. We couldn't help but to talk about. I couldn't help but to talk about that. I mean, with Justin Fields and the way that game went in Atlanta. With the Steelers getting the win, I have not watched his press conference. I have not watched any press conferences, to be honest with you. Not even the Bears press conferences. But it's going to be interesting to hear what these coaches and players have to say about some of their uh, performances. Um, I want to go back, and then we might want to wrap up, unless you got another game you want to pinpoint.
No,
But
no,
what did you think
I
about?
haven't, I haven't seen too much earlier today. I saw a little bit of most of the Cleveland game up into the third quarter. I had a thought hit me. I was like, the Deshaun Watson I think that's over with. Um, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I get on the phone and call Carolina and see if there's any way that they
Mm.
be willing to take Deshaun and give us Bryce back and give us their first round pick. That's what I'm doing if I'm Cleveland, because this is just not working. They showed the stat during the game. Like any other quarterback they got in there is doing the same thing Deshaun's doing plus a little bit more. So this is his third year. At this time, what we say, it take 3 years. If you ain't got it in 3 years, I know
Is
you're on
it
the
this his second season in Cleveland, right?
third. This is his third year in
I
Cleveland.
thought the third year he had to sit. Wait a minute,
No,
we got to fact check that one, but
no,
he
I'm this.
definitely got to be better.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Remember, he sat out there last year in Houston. Then he got traded. That first year, I think he got hurt. He's only played 13 games. This
With
is his
Cleveland.
yeah. This is the start of his third year with Cleveland. So
Okay, so if we give Justin 25 or 27 starts with Chicago, do you think it's worth it? I mean, they're paying the man 200 some $1 million guaranteed. He most definitely got to get another 10 to 15 games.
but that's only because I'm bound to him by this contract. I saw what Deshaun Watson was. I went to the store and bought the Deshaun Watson because I seen what it was. it ain't like I just took him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
Mm,
apply for my job and didn't have no NFL experience. I saw
yeah.
him and I bought
Mm,
him. It's not what I bought, so I got to move up off of it. I'm telling you, call Carolina because I think that's the worst ran team in the league right now.
yeah.
Call them.
In a snapshot, I know you haven't seen a lot of games this week so far. Who would you say you were most impressed with um during week one of NFL season? Because I got a guy.
I can't say most impressed with.
Mm,
I had a few takeaways. One, going back to Thursday, Lamar Jackson is what Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone was to Michael Jordan in the 90s. Jordan being Patrick Mahomes. He just can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He can't beat him. All those guys had MVPs in the 90s, but they couldn't beat the man when it came down to it. He missed them throws. I ain't talking about the one with what's his name? Lively, with his toe was on the line. I ain't
yeah.
talking about that. He missed two
Not,
throws.
not talking about the last third of the game. I understand he missed a couple other throws. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
His
Mm,
footwork when he was throwing the ball was terrible. It's like it's all upper
yep.
arm. Then
Mm,
his football IQ when they was making that last drive. Why are you sitting back there running around wasting all this time? If it's not there, get rid of it, save, clock it, so you can get another playoff. He killed about 10 seconds back there just going brain dead. I don't know. So that was one of my takeaways. So the Baltimore Ravens will not ever beat Patrick Mahomes. I feel comfortable in saying that. That was takeaway one. Takeaway two,
this,
the,
mm,
these these
go ahead.
games that they putting over here trying to grow this game globally, and
Yeah.
they put on subpar fields. If I'm the
Mm,
Packers, I'm pissed.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
Well, that what I don't think that was a footing. I don't think that was a ground thing. I think that was just a bad break. I mean, when you look at the play, one guy had him. I think he was being brought down by two guys, and I think Jalen Carter was kind of landed on Jordan Love's leg. Just a bad play, bad time, bad
but
break.
but
I
this the
get it because they were complaining about the slick glass, the slick
exactly.
grass stuff.
That's the part that we can't never eliminate from the conversation because if they was on I guess a regular NFL stadium with you know turf conditions up to what they used to playing with, and I'm sure that field was up to NFL standards because they wouldn't have let them just go out there and do that just because we scheduled this game. We got to do it. We've seen them move games during COVID to Tuesday and
Hmm.
Wednesday during the week, so they the NFL they can do that.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that the field came into question. It's just that thought is out there now. Like, well, damn, if we was at Lambeau and that happened, you know what I'm saying? It might have just been just regular. It might not have been as serious as it turned out to be. But they put it on this field, and now that brings it into question. They gotta do a better job with strategically placing these games because I don't think them going to Brazil really did nothing for the globalization of football. They had a better chance
Hmm.
of doing that in Mexico City like they did with the 49ers game, or because that's closer to California. The United States got to reach, closer reach there. Or they went overseas to London, not over, yeah, overseas to London and done it. That would have been a better option, but I think that was just a miss on the NFL's part, trying to overreach. Like y'all king, and I'm sure y'all are king above the NBA, and the NBA is a global game. Like let's just make sure if we growing the game, we can baby step this thing because we ain't losing out at all.
No. Hmm. Now, you okay? So you weren't impressed with not one player so far this week.
No, because I haven't seen all of the highlights and everything yet. So
Okay, so
that
I
was
got a bit of a cheat sheet, and just looking at my cheat sheet right now, I think the Rams are scheduled to kick off soon
Uncle Hen's Lions.
against the Lions. So
Blake
You
Corum
know,
coming.
like Uncle Hen, what's up? I know he getting ready. He probably got one of them. Probably just put a couple of them steaks on the grill, ready, to kick back and watch his Lions tonight. But I'm I was impressed with two guys, as a matter of fact,
Caleb
because
Williams.
going into today, I was really impressed with Saquon Barkley. That man
Okay.
was a beast on that slick field you just got through talking about. 24 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was just, man, he looked like a man possessed. Looked really good against the Packers. Um, the Eagles get out of Brazil with a 34-29 victory. Jalen Hurts had 278 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Of course, Jordan Love had a decent game in the second half, I want to think. He got off to a slow start, but they did put up 29 points, but unfortunately, he got injured. Um, so Saquon Barkley is one of my most impressive players. And then I have to go to this guy because this man has taken a beating over the past few years and he's been looking for a home. And that guy is Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Yeah, he went out. Everybody had JJ McCarthy booked to be the starter, maybe. JJ McCarthy goes down with a knee injury. Sam Darnold gets an opportunity to go out and start for the Vikings today, and they won 28-16. It wasn't a spectacular statistical game. He had 208 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. But for the Vikings, they had to be big for them to go out and display that much offense with a quarterback that a lot of people have a lot of questions about. So Saquon Barkley and then Sam Darnold. So um,
Real
we
quick.
could, we might want to wrap up, but I'm gonna give you an opportunity to tell me how you feel about the Bears next matchup in Houston. What's your expectations for Caleb Williams, and also your expectations for CJ Stroud?
Hey,
Prime time next Sunday night.
I know the NFC North. We actually Lions lose tonight. If you looking at the standings this early, the
Mm.
Packers already lost. The Vikings won. So let's I'm all for winning the division any way we can, baby. So the National Football Conference North.
Yeah,
Man, I think it's tough to say what we're gonna see next week from Caleb because that depends on a few things. Are they going to be able to be ahead of the chains? Are they going to be able to establish the running game? Are they going to be able to put out the same level of defensive effort that they had in the second half, not the first half? So all of these things come into play for what I expect to see from Caleb. If the defense goes out there and do what we expect them to do, and they can have a running game, I think Caleb will have a better game, much better game.
gotta establish that run. You know that I believe in that totally, especially on the road because when that crowd get to pumping and the crowd knows gets to going, it can be really difficult for a quarterback and especially a rookie quarterback.
And that's the Titans home opener, not Titans,
Yeah,
the Texans home
that's the
opener.
Texans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the home opener. They jacked up because they had a
yeah,
playoff appearance last year. They won this week. CJ's coming home, and then and they going up against the guy that's supposed to be better than CJ or more hype. So it's going to be
yeah.
rocking. But
So,
I give CJ the edge. I expect him to play well, and then
mhm.
Caleb is unknown.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. Like I won't be passing any judgment on Caleb Williams until we get about 8 weeks in. I think it'll be only fair to wait and see on him. Like I say, I just think as an offense, completely, totally as an offense, they need to get it rolling before the weather and Mother Nature changes in Chicago and the tougher part of that schedule. So I think we right on time for the kickoff in Detroit. And shout out to Uncle Hen. I forgot to shout out my man Will Bates. I know he's feeling really good. We're gonna have Will on.
What up? What up? What up?
And my man Big Boy Michael Thompson.
Oh,
You're gonna have a blast when you meet Mike. He's got a hell of a personality, have a hell of a character. Shout out to the Taylor Made Boys, my man Cutter Pac Man.
Sean Dev, you already know.
Sean and Deverett.
Yeah, you
I seen Sean post about the Bears today, so he's happy with the victory, no matter how it was done. So, thanks for watching. Watch the game sports. As you can see, I was a little bit under the weather.
Like, comment, subscribe. Please do that. We're trying to grow this thing. This is the time of the year that we've been waiting on. It's the greatest time of year. It's the best time of year. We got college football going. We got NFL kicking off with real games now. NBA will be starting up in about a month and a half. We'll have the baseball playoffs. My Yankees should be in it. So yeah, if you're a hockey guy, hockey starting, we don't talk about that here. But it's all starting. So best time of the year. Please like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Watch the game sports. Yeah.